And welcome everybody to another episode of the Pulse of Fins Nation. I am your host, Louis Sung, and I am joined by Ron Caniff, my co-host. Alfredo Arteaga is here as well. And a very welcome back to our good friend Manny. How are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Thank you for having me once again. No, we're not talking about the Super Bowl. We're talking about the Please, carry
on. I mean, hey, listen, man. Listen, this was I know it was rough, but we're all in the same boat together, watching our playoff dreams.
Listen, my friend. We have a Monday Night Football matchup to look forward to this fall. All right?
Oh yeah,
that's gonna get exciting.
Were you privy to the rumor that Chris Kaufman of the 3 yards per carry crew retweeted that Derrick Henry you guys had traded for him? Did you see that?
I did not see that, but I didn't think it
was. It was reported by what was it, Akbar Gavaja Bayamila? I don't even know if that's how you say it right.
The ex Green Bay Packer linebacker. I guess.
Yes. He reported it, and he was the only one who reported it because it was so wrong. It wasn't even funny.
Nope, he lost followers.
Nope. So, like, you would think somebody like him would have that legitimate sources. Like maybe Derrick Henry himself was like, "Hey, man, I'm going to the Eagles." Like that, but no, whatever.
I mean, to have a player like Derrick Henry's contract alone might have put us over the threshold of I don't know how much we have to pay back, or how much Slurry will have to probably give to the NFL just for getting on that contract, especially after the Hurts deal.
So let's go ahead and actually get back to the Miami Dolphins. We talk about Derrick Henry, right? Like everybody wants Derrick Henry. Now we were talking about Dalvin Cook. That seems to have died down just a little bit. It slowly simmered back up a little bit today when the Minnesota Vikings apparently changed their profile on their Twitter account to remove Dalvin Cook from the discussion. Now it's what is his name? Alexander Mattinson. Is that how you say it? So that's the new guy, the new running back who's going to definitively replace Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook he's impending, folks. He may be a Miami Dolphin. Thank you, Manny, very much for the little header there. So we'll see about that. We'll discuss that. Depends on how far we get into it. Right now, the main topic of the discussion for today is the Miami Dolphins schedule. What are we predicting for the record? We'll go game by game, just briefly discuss it and see where we think the Miami Dolphins are going to be when all is said and done. But before that, really quick, just want to go ahead and mention. Sorry, man. We're getting back into the swing of things. We're going to go ahead and mention that this show is, of course, brought to you by You Brake Wheel Fix. You Brake Wheel Fix is a complete automotive wheel solution. Ever parked too close to the sidewalk curb? You Brake Wheel Fix specializes in the repair of damaged wheels from bends, cracks, and curb rash. Or maybe your wheels are faded or peeling. You don't need to replace them, as You Brake Wheel Fix can refinish them to like new. Offering complete refinish options through powder coating, machining, and polishing, You Brake Wheel Fix is the answer to all of your wheel needs. And if you're just looking to give your ride a new look, You Brake Wheel Fix also offers many car customizing options, such as new custom wheels and tires from your favorite brands, performance upgrades, window tinting, and suspension modifications. Located just south of Aventura, you can reach Mark and his staff at 305-748-0112 or online at youbrakewheelfix.com. They are really active on all social media platforms at You Brake Wheel Fix, so shoot them a DM on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter and get an estimate in just minutes. So don't delay, go to You Brake Wheel Fix and start customizing your ride to show off your Dolphins fandom today. And of course, this show is also brought to you by PrizePicks.com. PrizePicks.com is a revolutionary fantasy platform where you can now pick up to 6 different players across professional sports leagues. Whether that's the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, one of each, it's up to you to decide. Just choose whether your chosen player will get more or less than their projected stat. That's all you got to do. They give you free squares over there. Just this past week, they gave you a free Joel Embiid square. They have special Taco Tuesday promos, which, by the way, there is still one taco live if you want to try to take advantage of that discounted prop. There are Flex Friday specials where you can get your money back if you lose or multiply the amount of money you can normally win. With offers like that, it's hard to justify not signing up if you are any kind of a fantasy sports fan. So use the promo code 5, that's FIVE, and they will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you sign up. Again, that's promo code 5, spell that out, FIVE. Go to prizepicks.com, deposit your $100, and let PrizePicks give you $100 of their dollars for you to play with. Get started winning today. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll get into the actual topic at hand here. So the Miami Dolphins, their schedule released, and many of you don't mind pulling that up real quick here because I saw that you had it there just briefly there. The Miami Dolphins start out week 1. We were expecting something along the lines of, another opener with the New England Patriots. Maybe they open with the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo because, God forbid, Ron unfortunately was right. They very carefully made it so the Miami Dolphins don't get a whole lot of home games early on in the season. But I digress. The very first game of the season is going to actually be the Dolphins going to I did the Chad thing. I almost said San Diego. I said the Dolphins are going to Los Angeles to play against the Chargers and Justin Herbert. So I went ahead and I went on my show and
Are you sure it's not Dan Fouts?
I'm sorry?
Are you like sure it's not Dan Fouts and not Justin Herbert?
Stan Humphries.
Nice. Phillip Rivers, the Chargers, right?
Stan
Phillip
Humphries.
Rivers.
Wow, that's a blast. That's a blast from the past.
Y'all are now talking way beyond my my age range here.
Dolphins got I made a point of this on the podcast today when I was talking to Simon. The Dolphins got a rigged schedule. Like they rigged this thing to help the Dolphins.
Yeah,
they don't
seriously,
play.
It's good, man. This schedule. I mean, we were going to play the teams we were going to play, and they were going to be on the road or at home. We knew that the moment the last season ended.
But this schedule
is the
is
best
this
arrangement that they could have made.
Yeah, this schedule is as if the Dolphins got into the scheduling room and said, "Look, get out for about 10 minutes and let me do whatever I want to do here." Okay, they arranged the schedule in such a way that it's completely rigged for Miami. They have no West Coast trips, none. They just start the season on the West Coast, which means they get to train for 2 months for that game. Okay, then it's just what they just start out there. All right, they finish the season with 4 out of the last 5 at home. Every single trip is a short trip from MIA to New England, to Buffalo, to Philadelphia. Okay, they have the one trip out to Germany, but that's also with the Chiefs. So that means the Chiefs are making the same trip. And then the Dolphins have a bye after that trip. They travel to New York. They travel to Washington, D.C. They travel to Maryland. All these are tiny little trips up the coast for like 2.5 hours. That's it. Okay. They don't play a single team that is coming off a bye. And it's the first time that's happened since they had the moving buys, since they started changing that, every team in the same division in the same division has the same week as a bye. It's the first time that a team has that. Okay, so this is extremely favorable schedule. Like there should be absolutely no complaints whatsoever about the schedule. The only complaint you can have is okay, they didn't give us enough, primetime games at home. That's it. That's the only thing. But other than that, it's a great schedule.
And Alf, I'll add, we only have 2 games where we have less rest than our opponent. 2 games in the entire schedule. The only other team that beats us is somehow Chicago managed to have no games where they have less rest than their opponent. And, things like a scheduled loss, like the Philly game, that's kind of a scheduled loss. Cool. Put it on the road. Works for me. The KC game, scheduled loss. Put it on the road. And then
I'm not scheduling that as a loss.
Put it on a neutral. Then put it on a neutral field. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being realistic. Then put it on a neutral field. So I just feel like you're right. They are trying to set this up so that the Dolphins win like 12, 13 games. It's like we have no excuse not to win at least 12 games, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only complaint that I would have is honestly the one that Ron had was that, again, like I mentioned, the Dolphins are not being given a whole lot of early home games to truly take advantage of that blistering hot South Florida sun. And even when the one game that we do have is against the Broncos, I'm not even remotely concerned about the Broncos.
We got the Broncos and the Giants, which what they did is they just didn't do it to us in the division. They didn't make New England, Buffalo, and we're not really going there and going to play in the snow. And they're not coming to us to play in the heat. It's going to be kind of all middling, right?
That's another thing. There's only one bad weather game, and it's on December 31st. Against Baltimore. And if you think about it, who does that hurt more? Yeah, okay, it should hurt our offense. It's going to hurt their offense. They got a bunch of pass catchers now. So, this thing is absolutely favorable.
And that's assuming Lamar Jackson is still healthy, because as much as we talk about, Tua's always hurt, Lamar Jackson's been hurt a lot too.
Yeah, so. Lamar Jackson's always hurt too. Yeah, they're both.
We also play the Cowboys. Think about it. They got the Jets playing the Cowboys early in the year when the Cowboys are always the best team in the history of football. We got them at the end of the year when they're always falling apart. So
that's true.
They hooked us up completely. They hooked us up completely. This is only one scheduled loss. you know. And let's face it, if you pull that one off against the Eagles on the road, you're talking about a big number, 14 wins, something ridiculous.
Yeah, it would take. Yeah, that would probably mean that likely, assuming healthy teams when we face each other, assuming Hurts is healthy.
Yeah, I'm completely
Tua's
happy with this schedule. This schedule is absolutely perfect. Loved it.
Yeah, the overall schedule is fantastic. I mean, I like the teams. I like the order that we're given. I like that we have the home games. I can always find a reason to gripe about not having. I want the Hard Rock Sun to be able to tweet things, and it doesn't look like this year they're going to get to. But I will go ahead and say that overall, this is a really, really, really good schedule for the Dolphins. I'm very happy with how it's turning out, and I can't wait. This is all, mind you, this is all predicated on the fact that of all players, Tua stays healthy. Like, this is all predicated on Tua's being healthy, because if Tua gets hurt, then everything that we're going to discuss right now is going to be out the window. So we'll go ahead and we'll talk game by game here real quick. And we're just going to briefly give an overview for every single game that we're going to be having here. We'll start, obviously, week 1, the Miami Dolphins going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Now, there are some elements here to keep in mind. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins actually just swiped Ronaldo Hill from the Chargers coaching staff. So take that for what you will. The Miami Dolphins are going to be able to debut their supposedly improved offense. I don't know what's improved about it yet. We'll find out what new toys, Devon Achane, Braxton Berrios.
I just want to say this. You have to remember last year, we didn't have any confidence to try and run the ball. We really didn't start running the ball till midway through the season. Now we're going to pick that up week 1, really, and start running the ball and have a bit more of a balanced offense, I think, right out of the gate. Because I think the issue was, and McDaniel talked about it last preseason, he goes, I don't understand. And he just kind of mentioned this, and it was preseason, so he didn't care. He's like, I don't understand. If I was defending the Dolphins and I see Tyreek Hill and Waddle, I would be trying to defend the pass, but they're still trying to defend the run. I guess it's because they think I'm some kind of run guru. So hell with it. We're just going to throw the ball. So it finally took some time to where teams were like, well, I guess we better try and defend the pass more than the run, and that allowed us to run the ball more. I think now you're going to see the teams defend us more the way they tried to the second half of the season, which is going to allow us to run the ball right out of the gate. So I think it'll be a completely different first half of the season with the run game.
And hopefully it stays that way. And again, I think that'll make the big difference against the Chargers, because they're expecting Tua to come out swinging, for lack of a better term. And if we, and again, we still don't know the whole fate of Dalvin Cook thing. For all we know, Dalvin Cook really, really wants to come home to Miami above everything else. I think he'll personally go to whoever is the highest bidder, which probably will not be the Dolphins. But if he really wants to come home to Miami, I am sure that Chris Greer will give him something to say. Here you go, man. Here's my offer. Take it. If not, then best of luck. But if he wants it, he can take it. He's going to be a post June 1st cap casualty for the Vikings. They don't want him. They don't want to pay him. If I were the Dolphins, I still don't understand why, like, the Dolphins should have just said, here's our 7th round draft pick, take it or leave it. And if I were the Vikings, I'd say, yes, please, thank you. Just get him off our hands.
No, they would have left. They would have left it. A 7th round pick is not worth more than 9 to 13 million in cap relief, which is what they'll get when they cut him. So
I mean, they could always just wait until June 1st and then execute the trade.
Nah, they would have said no anyway. I don't think Miami would have traded a 7th round pick. They're trying to get him for trading nothing. And remember, when you trade for him, you're responsible for the numbers left on the books. Miami does not want to be left responsible with those numbers on the books. You don't want to restructure those numbers. You want a clean slate. Yeah, you want to sign him as a free agent.
And we'll see. Like, there are going to be teams who will be looking for him. Like I know that the Buffalo Bills, they just signed Damian Harris off of the New England Patriots roster, right?
Yeah, so, and his brother, they want to give him the ball
James Cook. Yeah.
So,
but you know what?
The Bills are not a contender for Dalvin Cook.
I mean, hey, you never know. There might be some appeal to playing with your sibling. Some people like that sort of thing.
No, not after you pay Damian Harris what you just paid him. So I doubt it. If he goes anywhere, I really do believe he'll come to Miami, because that's where he wants to be, and it'll be a small 1-year rental type deal. They won't. They won't.
Buffalo, man. Them in their running game, they do with the running backs like what we do with the line, the O line. They just like refuse to do what's obvious. and what they need to do and just keep trying to make it work. It cracks me up. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get what Miami does with the O-line either, but we'll talk about that later.
I mean, why do you need a running back when you have Josh Allen, who's a running back and a quarterback and a wide receiver and a tight end and a linebacker and an everything all in one
It's
go?
just funny. I guess maybe every team has that. I don't know. Except I don't see Philly doing that. Seems like one of the biggest things they needed to do was go out and get a defensive tackle, and they went and drafted the best one in the draft.
Yeah, Ron. But unfortunately, there go the reports, and here come the sues. And we all knew that eventually, when the man would get drafted high and he signed his contract, what happens the very next day? The family sues, and everything is now lopsided. So it's a wait and see process now, even if he even gets on the football field, because this stuff has to get cleared out before the young man even gets into training camp. But that's
I didn't even know. I didn't know anything about this. Had no clue.
Yeah, so,
I missed that completely.
So as soon as he signed a rookie deal contract last week, him and Nolan Smith, apparently the sues from the player that had passed away or one that was with him that night or whatever the whole circumstance was.
So straight up another lawsuit, just miraculously out of nowhere.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, like, to me personally, that has to get cleared before the young man even gets on the football field, because again, this is not something that I want to go back, on the team itself.
You know,
did he sign his contract yet or no?
I believe he did. Yes.
Yeah, it was right after. Apparently, according to Manny, it was right after he signed the contract that this lawsuit came out. It was right
after him and Nolan Smith got introduced to the media after they signed the contract.
Yeah, that's awful, because if there's a lawsuit and that thing gets accepted as far as a lawsuit, they start holding money in escrow, which means he won't play.
You know, Matt Ariza got.
I did not know that. This is why Alf is on here. I did not know that. Wow.
You know, Matt Ariza, they finally came out and said he wasn't even there on the night that supposedly everything went down.
Don't you
I
love
saw
it?
that. I heard
Hearsay, you say I was. I'm like, man, it's just.
Yeah, because usually what happens that thing will go to not even mediation, it'll go to arbitration, where a judge will determine whether, this is a worthy lawsuit or not. And then they'll see what they're suing for. Like, let's say they're suing for $10 million. And then they gotta have a reasonable expectation that they can get paid. And the way they do that is that all these contracts that are paid in the NFL, they're all left in escrow. So all that money that's guaranteed, not the salary, but what's guaranteed is already on escrow. That's in an account somewhere. What usually happens is like something like that. They're going to look for where the money is. He doesn't have any property right now or cars or stuff like that you could lien. So where they're going to go? They're going to go where the money is in escrow. So everything that he has that has been promised to him in guarantees, a judge will, if he finds that the lawsuit is worthy to go forward, they'll just hold that money. And if they hold that money, he's essentially what, going to play for free? No, I think he won't play at all.
Guys,
unless adjudicated.
Yeah, he had signed his deal, guys, on May 4th, a 4-year contract worth $21.8 million in guaranteed salary. So
how much is guaranteed? All of that?
21.8, the whole thing.
Oh,
yeah, that's how they've been doing it ever since they started the new rookie salary cap so many years ago. Pretty much like the top 15 guys pretty much get their salary guaranteed for the most part. And then Jeff Ireland was the first one since that rookie salary cap to say, no, I want to try some bust protection. So him and Donna Ponte, that's why it took so long for Tannehill to get into training camp. But mostly, beyond an exception here or there, like in that case with Tannehill, they're fully guaranteed. I think at least like the first 15 picks, they just guarantee the whole thing.
Gotcha. So real quickly, guys, before we get to the schedule, I did want to say my point on this, which I found it very interesting, especially when the Dolphins schedule. Notice where they don't even play the New York Jets until the end of October, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, it's like middle of the season before we even see them.
So here's my prediction, right? Because to me, you know how we kind of said, well, at least I did last year, that the AFC West, with a juggernaut of quarterbacks that was there, that maybe that division will be the ones to basically have 3 teams in, and it was just going to be like a slobber knocker to me personally. I think the AFC East is definitely that if Tua can stay healthy, without question, right? You're going to have Rodgers, you're going to have Tua, you're going to have Josh Allen. Obviously, I'm not a believer in Matt Jones. I know all of us here are not, and it's been proven that he's not, so let's not even talk about the Patriots. But you mean to tell me that maybe these 2 games between the Dolphins and the Jets, you're talking about 2 matchups at the end of the season that could probably tell you right? Either maybe the team wins the division or a team gets even a higher seed in the wild card. And man, like once again, like to be able to say that, wow, like the Bills and the Jets and the Dolphins, and not mentioning the Patriots, right? I think that's the most awkwardest thing I've said.
That's the best part about the whole about your whole scenario there, honestly, is that the Patriots can screw off.
Yeah, like but I'm telling you, those two games between the Dolphins and the Jets, I think can say a lot at where this division switches to. Not saying that Buffalo can't win it again, but still.
They're still the favorite. I mean, it still goes. Let's be honest. It still goes through them. Honestly, the division still goes through Buffalo. They've been the ringleaders in the division now for 4 or 5 seasons, something like that. 4 seasons, somewhere in that
ever
range.
Since Josh Allen showed up.
Yeah, ever since Josh Allen
also,
really showed up, so to speak.
Also, guys, Dolphins go to the Bills. When is it? October 1st. Not in December, not in late December, when normally they have to go up there and travel in the weather. And oh my God,
the snowball game last year. Yeah,
bro, Alf is so right. This schedule was set up so good for this.
It was. It really was, man. I mean, it really was.
Manny, do you want to set up? You want to give Alf some odds on the Dolphins sweeping the Jets this year?
Oh, let's do it. I mean, personally, I'm not a betting man, but I have high confidence that they can because, again, the Jets don't have an
No, Alf thinks they can too, so never mind. There's no bet.
I don't know. I don't want to bet because I don't.
Nobody wants to make a line on it. Nobody has a line on it. The only line that I saw that was interesting was the Patriots were plus 850 to go winless in the division.
Nice.
Alf, me and you can confirm that the Jets have not figured out that offensive line issues yet. And you mean to tell me that Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be standing back there, being able to throw the football consistently?
Okay, but the Dolphins are picking up the Jets scrap, so I don't want to hear about.
But listen, we know that the Dolphins can run the ball at least. Yes or no?
When they commit, when McDaniel's willing to commit to it. When McDaniel's willing to commit to the run, yes, but he's not always willing to do that. Obviously, he wants to. I mean, they re-signed Mostert, they re-signed Wilson, They've been flirting with Cook. They even talked about them getting Henry. They drafted Achane. I mean, clearly he wants to focus on the run more. They got rid of Gesicki and got more blocking tight ends. You know what I mean? It's like they're going to start Smythe just because the guy can halfway block at the tight end position. Clearly, they want to run the ball better. I mean, that's obvious.
I truly do not believe Devon Achane is here to run the football. I believe he's here to be Darren Sproles. That's what I think.
No way. Dude, have you watched his I'm not a film guy, but I decided to be a film guy for like 1 hour and dig into Achane. Oh, dude, this is one of the best. And Alf, if you think I'm wrong or dumb or shut up, Ron, stop watching film, stick to just talking about it.
No, Alf's going to tell me to shut up.
This is one of the best. This, in my opinion, is one of the quickest north-south runners behind the line that I've ever seen. Like when you hand him the ball, he just has an uncanny ability to see the hole. And it's not just that he sees the hole. It's just an instantly he's gone. I mean, instantly north-south. When he catches the ball in the flat even, he finds that crease. And the moment he finds it, he takes off. There's no hesitation. There's no juking. There's no this. There's nothing. Like he is so quick triggered. So not only has he got speed, but he's got quickness. And he's got instincts back behind the line of scrimmage. We'd be crazy just to toss him the ball here and there. Yes, he can catch it. And yes, he can even catch it with his arms, away. But I was really impressed by what I saw. Alf, I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, he's made his name, getting outside and being a great outside zone runner. But in my opinion, when you watch him on film, his best runs are those inside zone runs.
Agreed.
Where it looks like there's nothing there, and he's finding 3, 4, 5, 6 yards out of nowhere just because of pure quickness and his vision. Like he's one of the better daylight runners that have come out in quite a few years.
I'm really surprised he was still there in the 3rd round. I know Greer was confident about it, but I don't know why. I really don't.
Okay, guys, one more schedule nugget before we continue on the schedule. The Dolphins would have already played the Patriots twice before
they played the Jets.
Yes, yeah. You need to go 2-0. You need to go 2-0. Listen, even better, go 3-0 when you play the Bills as well during those frames in Buffalo. You go 3-0 in the division. I mean, listen, you're right in the driver's seat. without
The
question.
Dolphins lost that second game against New England because it was Teddy Bridgewater and then Skylar Thompson in the second half. That's why they lost that game. I firmly believe that. So, Matthias saying that Devon Achane falls forward, which is something that I think that many people have been lamenting about Dolphins running backs. They always go backwards, fall forward.
Well, if you fail,
Balaj. Kalen Balaj.
Who Chris Greer managed to trade for a thing, even if it was a small thing, it was still a thing. Somebody get Noah Igbenogany. Like, who needs a corner? Hey, Manny, y'all want to give us a 7th-round draft pick for Noah Igbenogany?
No, I mean he probably won't even start on our special teams. Sorry.
No, he definitely will not.
He can't tackle. He can't tackle. He
Yeah.
can't tackle. Next.
All right. Anyway, so back to the Dolphins and Chargers. I picked the Dolphins to win this game because I feel like they're going to be fresh. The Chargers are not going to be able to just hone in on everything the Dolphins offense is going to be doing. The fact that Vic Fangio is running the defense now and not Josh Boyer, Justin Herbert is going to actually have to figure things out regularly, organically, not just like, I'll just see that they're going to blitz here and then I'm just going to heave it up to somebody real deep because that's just the miraculous way that things go with the Miami Dolphins defense. Now it's going to be a legitimate, true defense with some even more talent than ever before. So that's why I picked the Dolphins to win that game, putting them at 1-0. Ron, what do you think?
Here's my only concern. I'd say the pros with the new defense, Fangio's defense and the Chargers, are that Herbert gets confused easily. Let's be honest. And when he starts trying to throw the ball downfield,
is that a concern?
If he starts trying to press, I'm just saying that's not a concern for me. It's be concern for Herbert. That's a positive. That's a plus. The negative drawback to me is this is a safer defense. It isn't really giving the deep ball or trying to force you to throw the deep ball. It's going to be a lot about running the ball and the shorter passes. And that's that's all Herbert did last year. Was throw the ball 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards, 2-3 yards. I mean, that's not an insult. The numbers just state it. They had like about the least amount of air yards per pass of any team last year. It's not that Herbert doesn't have an arm, it's just the offense they chose. So that's a little bit. I could see that Herbert continuously like matriculating the ball down the field. So I'm a little concerned about that. But if Fangio does have some kind of new tricky coverages, I think when it gets to like 3rd and long and things like that, I think Herbert's going to get confused and probably be prone to throw some picks for sure in that game. So I'm more wondering. Tua had his worst game last year. It was against the Chargers. Whatever it was that Staley came up with, it worked. And it's not like every team could do it. It didn't work. It's not like all the other teams all of a sudden decided, this is what we're going to do against Tua. And it just suddenly started working. It didn't. It was just something about that matchup, something about that game plan. And, Tua couldn't get around it. McDaniel couldn't get past it. They just couldn't. So hopefully they'll have something better for him this time. It needs to start with you got to run the ball. We need to run the ball against the Chargers. I think that's going to be the key. If you run the ball, I think it's going to make those linebackers come in a little tighter to the line, and that's going to open up the middle of the field that the Chargers did a fantastic job last year closing out. I mean, San Fran did a pretty decent job, but Tua was really kind of more missing the throws. The Chargers defense, that was a perfect game plan against Tua. It made them look silly. That was one of the worst games I'd ever seen Tua have, and it was just kind of out of nowhere. So I think it'll be a good game. I mean, the Chargers are a good team. They were a playoff team last year too. It's going to be close. I think the Dolphins can win it though, because they have a lot of time to prepare and they have probably maybe a little bit more talent. Maybe a little bit more talent than the Chargers. Chargers are a real talented team too, though.
I mean, I think Vic Fangio's new tricky coverage is Jalen Ramsey is going to be everywhere at once. I think that's
everywhere, everything all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the new coverage. Alf, Dolphins win. Yes. Dolphins win. No.
Well, I'm going to do my own predictions on my podcast. So I'm going to give you the case why the Dolphins are going to go undefeated.
Okay.
So
go for it.
against the Chargers, look, they're going to have months to prepare for this. Okay. It's not going to be like last year, where all of a sudden Brandon Staley springs a defense on them. So they're going to be ready for it this time around. They're going to be completely healthy this time around. They're not going to be missing a lot of offensive linemen like they did last year. They're going to be ready for this game, and the Chargers are, in my opinion, they're not going to be able to have that element of surprise that they had last year. Tua's going to get to work against that exact defense against Vic Fangio all summer to get ready for this game. I think Miami wins that game kind of comfortable.
All right. So moving on, next game, Dolphins at the Patriots. I don't feel like I need to talk that much about this.
Two
So-
4-0 against them. He'll be 5-0 against them.
2-0.
That's it. Move
It'll
on.
be a close game though, because it's always a close game. Belichick gets the best out of the players he has. He's a good game planner. He's a good defensive game planner, I should say. It's just, again, it's going to be a situation of there's just too much talent for the, as far as the Dolphins have. They just have too much talent
Jones
to lose
is
to the
going to throw.
Patriots.
Mac Jones is going to throw 2 interceptions at least against Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, and whoever else happens to be back there.
We really don't know what Mac Jones is going to look like. This guy's had the tale of 2 seasons, right? Like, he had a pretty decent rookie season, and then all of a sudden he had a terrible season when Matt Patricia was the offensive coordinator. It was terrible. Now they got Bill O'Brien. He's a pretty good offensive coordinator, but I think it'll be a closer game. But I think Miami shouldn't have an issue winning it. They should win it by 10 or something.
I'll give you that one. Mac Jones was furious with the whole Matt Patricia thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was terrible. That was dumb. I mean, Bill Belichick got cocky on that one. That was dumb. That was a big mistake.
Didn't Brian Flores also play coach on the offensive side of the ball a little bit too?
He was a pass game coordinator a little bit of his time.
So maybe he was trying to give
England.
Matt Patricia that same experience. It's like, you're going to have the Brian Flores effect. You're going to do everything. You're going to know how to do everything. And we're going to let you be the offensive coordinator so you can get some experience in the role.
Well, I think the issue is that he's not going to supplant his son. It's got you got some nepotism happening there. Matt Patricia probably still is the better choice for defensive coordinator. Should have just done that and gotten a real offensive coordinator, but he doesn't want to supplant his son, Steve, right? As the pseudo not unnamed defensive coordinator. So that's why he put Patricia on the offensive side of the ball, because he likes Patricia and thinks he's a good coach. It was silly. It was just too much ego, in my opinion, from Belichick there. But we'll see. He's obviously learned his lesson. Patricia's over. Where did he go? I don't even remember where he went now. Was it the Eagles? That's right. It was the Eagles.
I believe he is
a defensive assistant. He's a defensive
assistant.
Yeah.
Senior
if he was an offensive assistant, I might have jumped off the wall. But no, he's the defensive.
No. That would have been hilarious.
Can you imagine Jalen Hurts walking to that office? Listen, Coach, I understand you're an offensive coach for the Patriots with a guy that I was also in a way at the same school, as Matt Jones in Alabama, but I'm not him. Okay, let's not do this now. What the topics of conversation would have been, but no, pass.
I mean, a senior defensive assistant. Well, no, because Vic Fangio was just a consultant. Never mind. I
see, and that still is always going to bug me. And Alf, I think you kind of know this because you're like a football guru of the whole 5 Reasons Sports Network. The Jonathan Gannon's, the whole debacle, like Vic Fangio.
I'm not buying it.
Eagles defensive coordinator.
I'm not buying it.
Jonathan Gannon. Never mind. You know what? I'm over that. All right, next question.
I don't.
For a guy with like the best team, as a fan of the best team in the league and just went to the Super Bowl, you seem very sour about your team.
You're not the best team in the league because we didn't win it, Ron. We didn't win it.
But you guys are.
We had the worst defensive.
You have the best team, but you're not the best quarterback, and that's
you don't have Patrick Mahomes. That's the only difference. That's why you didn't win.
Quarterback with one leg. Why are we talking about this? Carry on.
All right.
Dolphins, Broncos. We win. Sean Payton still doesn't know how to fix Russell Wilson. Next.
That's the home opener. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Broncos are gonna slaughtered.
Let's ride.
Destroyed that game.
So, do we finally get to put Sean Payton in the same clown category as Mike McCarthy?
Yeah, right.
At least let him.
Al pointed this out already. They have basically the same record, except one is a genius and one is not. What's the difference?
I don't know.
They're exactly the same. Exactly the same. Right down to, one guy rode the coattails of Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, okay. And the other guy rode the coattails of Drew Brees. They both have one ring. They both have the same amount of playoff wins. They both have the same winning percentage. So we shall see. But
I just want Sean Payton
I just find it odd. I find it odd that one guy gets $10 million a year and the other guy is coaching for his job every year.
I just want
Because Aaron
Sean
Rodgers
Payton's
didn't
team to
like
get
him.
smashed by Tua, destroyed for Sean Payton when he wasn't a coach, going on all these shows and talking all this crap about Tua. I want Tua to throw 7 touchdowns on his ass. I freaking cannot stand Sean Payton. I can't wait for the Dolphins to destroy that team and shitty Russell Wilson, who his own team you can't even talk to him without making an appointment. Screw that guy and screw Sean Payton. Those two deserve each other. I hope they go 2-15. Anyway, next game.
I mean, hey, they had a really good offensive line with Butch Berry, so there's that.
Okay. I guess.
It's like, where's the Cam Fleming signing, people? Can we have somebody good?
June
please?
1st. We have too many mid offensive linemen to sign first before we get to Cam Fleming.
Isaiah Wynn and Cedric Obwegi. Obwegi? Is that how you say it? I can't remember. I had to look it up last night when I recorded last night. Say what now?
Ogleboy.
Ogleboy? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Wikipedia had it completely different. I don't know.
Who cares? You know what you could call him? Cut in July, at the end of July.
Probably neither one of those guys will be on the team by the time.
I think Isaiah Wynn might stay.
Isaiah Wynn will probably make the team. They get we know the contract details for him.
Isaiah Wynn, are we going to actually sign a good lineman? Okay. Well, next game.
Cam Fleming.
Let's go.
Next game in Buffalo, they've been so close to beating them, almost beat them in the playoff game. That's the revenge game. They win that one. Dolphins win.
Oh,
both games in Buffalo were so tight last year.
So Alf has them going 4-0 so far.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say you were going to argue for them.
Well, I guess, guys, listen. Let's make the next game quick and easy. I'm sorry, Danny Dimes, whatever the Giant fans want to call his ass. He's not going to be able to do much with this defense.
I was at work.
Giants take a step back this year. Dolphins by 30.
At work, there's
somebody. You know what? We could probably even move forward all the way to the Eagles matchup because, come on, are the Carolina Panthers really going to come on the road?
Panthers at home.
Well, okay.
That's going to be fun. It's Bryce Young.
This is
Bryce Young versus Tua. That's going to be a lot of fun. Still, Miami by 45 in that game.
I just realized you think about something. Dolphins, Patriots, Bama versus Bama. Then you got Dolphins, Panthers, Bama versus Bama quarterback, right? Dolphins, Eagles, Bama versus Bama quarterback. Then Dolphins, Patriots again, Bama versus Bama quarterback. It's 3 in a row. Look at that. Bryce Young to Hurts to Mac Jones to 3 games in a row. Very interesting.
Nice. That is the last time this Alabama fan speaks. All right, next. Let's go.
Sorry, roll time.
It's the Alabama Renaissance.
All right, Eagles game. Let's talk about this Eagles game, guys.
Ooh. Oh, man.
I got the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles.
Sorry.
Well, look, the Jalen Hurts' worst games from last year was at Chicago, against the Giants, against Jacksonville, at Detroit, at Arizona. These are all in order, by the way. These are his worst games of the year. All of them are under 90 rated. He has no touchdowns in any of those 5 games. He had 4 interceptions. You got to
count the rushing touchdowns at least.
Yeah, you got to count the rushing touchdowns.
I don't count rushing touchdowns.
We got to count them for Hurts.
Oh, you don't count rushing touchdowns.
I don't count rushing touchdowns. All I care about is passing. Okay, so those are his 5 worst games. Were against what kind of defenses? Can we take a guess?
Fangio defense.
3-4 defenses. 3-4 defenses.
Yeah, they're all 3-4s. They're all pressure 46s, 42s. They're all Fangio defenses. Miami finds a way to eke out a close one. I look at the Eagles, man. Have the Eagles fixed their secondary issues? Like they cut Darius Slay, then they didn't cut Darius Slay.
No,
then they're going to go get a good corner.
No.
And they didn't get one.
No.
They might sign Byron Jones, to be honest with you. I think that makes sense.
I mean,
I wouldn't do that if I were you guys.
I think it comes down on what has Ringo progressed to become the next 4th cornerback at least, because at least our 3 cornerbacks are set with Slay, Bradbury, and with Maddox. So we're looking for a 4th, but the secondary is not even close. I mean, losing Garner Johnson, that's a huge.
That was huge. He's a great
player.
He's obviously a pain in the ass.
We didn't draft any safeties either. So for a fact,
he's obviously a pain in the ass because Garner Johnson last year, like you looked at him, and all of us said, we said it on our podcast, he was going to be a $17-18 million a year player. He's one of the best safeties in all of football. And easily the best nickelback in all of football. And he signed for what? What did they give him this year? He signed for a little crappy contract.
Well, he didn't love the Eagles deal first, and then he took a 1-year deal, I think, with Detroit, out of all places.
Yeah, it's just
So,
weird. It's just weird. Like I don't get that.
to each its own.
Yeah.
But no, I can see though how the Dolphins secondary will definitely get fits for AJ Brown and Smith and whatnot. But this is where I think, can the Eagles run the ball? Can the Dolphins stop the run?
Yeah,
Right?
we don't know what the kind of
and
run
we don't
defense
know
they're
yet
gonna have this year.
because to
Yeah.
me, when I look at the Eagles schedule, guys, it gets difficult. Like getting past week 7 and 8, like the Eagles are going to have to start off fast because their strength of schedule in the beginning is, it's winnable games. Then you get after that threshold of the Dolphins, the Bills, and then everybody else in between with the Niners and etc. It gets difficult for them. So if the Eagles want to actually have some like a couple wins in their bag, like this game has to be a W. But
that's a Sunday night game, right? You had said Monday night. Is it Monday night or Sunday night? That Dolphins
was Monday. Maybe
No,
it's a Sunday night.
It's a Sunday night game.
Man,
Sunday
that
night.
is a Sunday night matchup.
Yep.
Like that is a really if in a year that the Sunday night
No,
matchups aren't as good
this
as
is
they've
not an
been,
Eagles
that's a
show.
great
I'm
one.
just the Eagle fan on the show.
It's just an Eagles show. Yeah, you know what? We should be talking about the Eagles a lot because let's be honest, the Eagles are probably going to be back in the Super Bowl, and the Dolphins have a good shot to be in the Super Bowl. And there were Eagles players last year after that practice in preseason that literally said and thought out loud. They said, "We thought the Dolphins were going to be the team we'd be facing in the Super Bowl after that practice." That's what they thought, and that was last year. And the Dolphins are improved. I think the Eagles will be.
And they might have if Tua had stayed healthy.
Like this could be a Super Bowl preview, guys.
Yeah,
this could very well be the Super Bowl preview. This Sunday night game,
Bro,
it really could be.
That's the infuriating thing of it all. We watched Skylar Thompson go into Buffalo and still somehow be this close to getting the job done. So
almost got it done in the playoffs.
Well, let's be truthful. Let's be truthful. What we saw was Skylar Thompson go into Buffalo and lose us the playoff game. That's what we saw.
I don't know. They lost by like 3. The third string quarterback. I think it's a little unfair, Alf.
And if
you look at every unit on that team, okay, who played the worst out of all of them? I guess you could say our running backs played pretty bad, but Skylar Thompson was terrible in that game.
I mean,
I hate to be this way. I hate to be this way. You know what unit play? This is going to make people mad. You know who did the worst job in that game?
The defensive line.
Mike McDaniel. He coached us out of a win in that game several times. He just did some boneheaded stuff. They had issues with all the play calling and getting it in. It was just a problem from start to finish in that game. I'm amazed we were as close as we were. Some of the play calling was terrible. Some of the play calling, especially on third and short, was god awful. You cannot blame that on Skylar Thompson.
If you watch the all 22, okay, on that last drive against Buffalo, okay, Miami gets the ball back. They're down 3. All right. There's a reasonable possibility that this is going to be the last possession of the game. You go get a touchdown, you're going to win this. Okay. You're going to win this game. And you hit that pass to Waddle on the sideline, remember?
Yes.
Where he got hit in the back and he left the field. You gained 30 yards. Every pass play called afterwards was really aggressive, and they all popped, including the one on 3rd and I believe it was, 3rd and 11? Tyreek Hill was wide open on the crossing route. And if Skylar Thompson hits him, Tyreek Hill might score. And I don't know. The more I look at that game, it was all there in the last drive. Like the Bills were begging us to beat them.
It was there to win in the last drive. I'll give you that, Alf. But some of the things that happened and some of the coaching decisions and just poor clock management and play calls leading up to that put us in that situation to begin with. We can't just blame it on the last drive and missed opportunities from Skylar Thompson and ignore all the other drives that happened on both sides of the ball. But I mean, we have to be honest too. We got to be honest on this one. We don't like Josh Boyer, but Josh Boyer and his defense scheme kept us in that game. A lot of it. He really did keep us in that game as much as we want to crap on him. And, it was time to move on. That scheme, and somehow, some way, even though with the most beat up defense in like NFL history, as far as the secondary went, he kept us in that game. So I just feel like McDaniel needed to do a better job. I don't know how we even got on this conversation. I don't know, but
Because we were talking
I'm
about-
talking about the Dolphins-Bills playoff game. But I can't just blame Skylar Thompson in the last drive. Although, yeah, if Tua is in there, we probably win that game. I
Listen,
think that's the whole
wanna-
point that Lewis was making.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this because this is something that we mocked Bills fans last year for complaining about. It's like, oh, we didn't have our safeties. Oh, we didn't have this. Oh, we didn't have that. Their defense was not at full strength. We want to. You know what they did have though? They had their quarterback. We had again, and this is why I say it. Like we were this close to getting the job done. Yeah, Skylar was bad. Don't get me wrong, but they still were They were literally one drive away from winning in Buffalo with your third string quarterback. And what was it? Lester Cotton at left guard, because that was all they had left at this point. And I don't even remember if Teron Armstead was playing. Who was at right tackle? Who I don't even know who was at right tackle anymore. Was it
Robert Hunt?
Was it Hunt?
Right
Was it Hunt at okay, so that means that the right guard was what? Robert Jones, I guess.
No, he didn't play either. They had new right guards. They had a new right guard for that game. They moved Robert Hunt over to right tackle. I know Lester Cotton played left guard. Teron Armstead did play in that game. So yeah, I don't remember who the hell played right guard. It was a mess. Like
it was the whole thing was a disaster from start to finish. And yeah, our secondary, by the way, still beat up as all get out. How many plays did Keon Crossan play? More than he should have. How many did?
Yeah,
like, we were the ones devastated by injury and still almost came away with a win. Bills fans have nothing to talk about. Seriously.
I agree. All right, let's get back on this. I think the Eagles squeak it out. Alf thinks the Dolphins squeak it out.
I think the Eagles win that game. Sorry.
Yeah,
I can't.
well,
I can't
Manny,
give it
I'm
to-
sure
I can't
you
give it
think
to
that the
Miami.
Eagles take probably
Tua 498 yards, 6 touchdowns. In that
Okay,
game.
well, you're saying the Dolphins go undefeated, just
and
for
the
sake of
Eagles-
show.
and
What about
and
the
the
Baltimore
Eagles-
Ravens, Alf?
and the Eagles give Jalen Hurts' job to Tua, and Tua quarterbacks 2 teams. He'll be the first quarterback to ever play against himself in the Super Bowl.
I love Matt, bro. You cowards.
Like I try to be as objective as I possibly can when I'm doing these shows. I'll go ballistic on other things.
All right, so let's move on to the next week then. Patriots
at the Dolphins. That's another win
Yeah.
for Miami.
I think that's going to be the biggest. I think that'll be the biggest gap, the biggest defeat that the Patriots have suffered since like the Wildcat game. I think the Dolphins are going to go nuts, go wild, so to speak.
So what
in
do we
that
have?
game
Do we have
at
the
home.
Dolphins going like what 5-1 right now?
I do. Like this guy Alf has him at 6-0 at this point.
Scroll
but
up,
I
Manny,
would have
how
7-0. They're beating they're beating the Patriots by 1 million. So
So 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Did we say the Dolphins were going to beat Buffalo on the road legitimately?
yeah, easy.
Yeah.
300
I think
yards
we're
rushing.
due. I'll say we're due to beat them on the road. That's funny. Last year
Well,
we're
that's
like, can we
4-0.
just get a win, please? Just one win.
I just
We
feel
got
like
that
the win
4-0.
is not in December. There shouldn't be any more excuses about this damn weather thing.
Yeah,
Just
no,
go
for
up there.
either team because
You
then
guys
they
want
play
some
us.
breaking news?
in
The Knicks
January
just got
in
screwed out of the lottery. They're picking 10th. So awesome.
Let's go. All right, next.
So who won the lottery then?
No,
LeMayer
they're still going. They're still going. I'll give you the news as they put up.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so we
this
have
is this is
1,
the
2, 3,
prize.
4, 5.
This is the prize in the NBA lottery tonight. Like, there's been years where you get the first pick, cool. This is one of those perennial years, like LeBron James is in there type kind of thing. To
it
have the
because-
number one pick in the NBA.
Did Bronny James declare for the draft yet?
No. He won't even be a lottery pick, probably. Anyway,
Who
sorry.
would get
Definitely not
first
an
pick?
NBA. It's not an Eagles show, and it's definitely not an NBA show. Let's keep going.
I was trying to count the record, and then we're starting talking about this stuff. So we were 5. Go back up, Manny. I'm trying to like I lost track. So Chargers 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. Apparently, Giants and Dolphins. We picked them to win that one too for 5-0. What did we
Yeah.
say for the Panthers? Are we going to win that one too?
Of course.
6-0. Okay, so we finally lose to the Eagles.
Yes.
6-1.
Have you seen Bryce Young's body?
Detroit
Simon?
Detroit just got completely screwed.
The
They had
Pistons?
the best odds, and they're picking 5th.
Wow. Yeah, but by the way, to get back to football, have you guys seen Bryce Young's body behind these linemen?
Yeah, he looks ridiculous.
He's gonna get killed.
Look, you know what? I just want to be the guy who said this when he was in college because people ignored it completely. The moment Bryce Young steps on the field, he is going to get the Hurts Tua treatment. He's too small. He's not this. He's not that. He can't play. He's going to get that same bull crap that they would really said about Tua and tried to say about Hurts, but it didn't last long. You're going to hear the same stuff about Bryce Young. Everyone ignores it in college. And then the second they get in the pros and they get around pros and you start to see physically he's a little lacking. Like he's going
yeah,
to.
but what pisses me off
the
is the people
same
that
bullcrap.
mention Tua and Hurts size and then don't mention Bryce Young. Tua
Because
and Hurts are giants compared to Bryce
Yeah,
Young.
that's what I'm saying. But when these guys are in college, they just tend to ignore it. They don't talk about it till the moment they step on a football field and they look like they're playing pee-wee football compared to the NFL players. Then everybody starts to notice, oh, he's kind of small. Yeah, I was saying that. And dude, I'm a Bama fan. Like I like Bryce Young, but I was saying when he was playing in college, I mean, you're going to hear these same comparisons, the same stuff. He's not too small. He's minuscule. Nice.
Get microscopic. Okay.
Okay.
So
all
we
right.
picked.
So
So
we're
we are
not- all right.
we're 7-1 with the Patriots at the Dolphins. Okay.
Yes.
Dolphins Chiefs in Germany.
Yes, Frankfurt.
They're going to Germany.
Tyreek Hill,
Blackwoods.
revenge game.
Heil to the Chiefs. Sorry.
I want the fight with the Blackwoods.
Had to say it.
This
Yeah,
might be
the
a
la-
game where Andy Reid gets lost at the bar. I don't know if that makes sense. But
Nice.
In all
Yeah.
seriousness, as much as I want to, I'm not giving it a scheduled loss, but I do think the Dolphins lose that game. So I'm saying
Yeah.
7-2.
I think they lose that game too.
Okay.
Dolphins in a shootout.
Alfred's
Tua
probably
outduels
Alf said
Mahomes.
straight at the very
Alf
beginning that he
taking
was
them to
not. He
17-0.
was going to say the Dolphins go undefeated. He's doing his. He's saying that every-
Mahomes will throw for 410 yards and 5 touchdowns, and it will not be enough. Because Tua will throw for 415 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And 7
and beat
touchdowns.
Yeah, and beat him by a touchdown late. Ramsey intercepts Mahomes in the end zone to ice it. Miami wins 45-41.
But man, how many touchdowns you got Tua throwing this season, bro? You already have
Bro,
throwing 12 in 2
MVP
games.
at this point.
I think
65 touchdowns this year or something.
I think 45 is like a nice number.
Will that break the Peyton Manning record? Like,
No,
what was
the Peyton Manning record is 55.
55.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus,
So-
never mind.
Yeah, but you got to understand, the Dolphins are going to be something like 13 or 14-0. They might rest Tua, so he's not going to get the record
Yeah.
throwing. You know what I mean?
That's basically the Dolphins refusing to run the football again. Only this time it actually works. Over 100 touchdowns.
And here I was thinking that the Dolphins' main thing was to run the football on the offense this season. Next.
Mistaken. Okay, Raiders
hey,
and
guys.
Dolphins.
Okay, the
You
bye
need to
week. I got Miami losing the bye week because they're going to be
Okay.
drunk off of
17
their
and 1.
accomplishments. They're going to be 9-0, so they're going to lose the bye week. They're going to be really,
Okay.
really, really drunk that week. Talking about they're going undefeated after their 9-0 to start.
Raiders at Dolphins. Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured again, and the Dolphins.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's going to be a
Knock
record.
him out for a
Okay.
4th time. Knock him out
Not
for the
to
season for
mention
the
the
4th time.
The Raiders are coming for a 1:00 kick. They'll be wearing the black jerseys in the hot sun. So hey, it's definitely an L.
The
Look,
odds are-
you know what Jimmy Garoppolo's record is against Miami?
Not
Oh,
good.
3.
Okay.
1-3 or something.
Well, look, he beat us.
he's
with
0-0. He doesn't finish the game.
Look, he
Yeah.
beat us with the Patriots, right?
But
he
he didn't
lost
finish
to
the
us
game.
with the 49ers. And I guess you could give him the win against, although he was losing against the Dolphins when Brock Purdy came in. But give him that win. Let's say he's 2-1 against the Dolphins. But you know what he also has? He has a broken ankle, a torn collarbone, 2 concussions, and a rib injury. And 3 ended seasons.
So
I think we make it 4.
Yeah,
I
the
think we
odds
make
are
it
not
4.
the odds are not whether Garoppolo gets hurt against Miami. The odds are who is the one who actually does the hurting.
It's just really weird that Jimmy Garoppolo has played the Dolphins 3 times in his career. 3 times. And all 3 times Miami ended his season.
You know,
It happens a 4th time.
It's so weird about the Raiders team. I feel like this Josh McDaniel Garoppolo reunion is either going to go amazingly great and it's really going to work. Or it's just going to go terribly wrong. I don't know. I feel like there's no in between with this. It's either really, really going to work or it's just absolutely going to be a shit show.
All right. The 4th pick goes to the Rockets, the
Oh.
Spurs, the Hornets, and the Portland Trailblazers are left. Portland gets the third pick.
Don't
let
tell
it
me the
not be
Spurs are
Charlotte.
going to get
Let it not
freaking
be
first
Charlotte.
this
San
guy.
Antonio and Charlotte are left.
If you are a Heat fan, you
Please
don't
let
want
be
Charlotte
Charlotte.
with this.
The
pick.
second pick goes to the Hornets, and the Spurs are going to get Wembanyama.
Oh my God!
Well,
I can't
Greg
even watch it now.
Popovich-
Now I don't even want to watch him because I freaking hate the Spurs. All right, you ruined my night. Thanks, Al.
Okay, let's move
Thanks
on.
for
to the
nothing.
schedule.
Moving on to
Let's talk
football.
offense.
Are we
Lewis,
act-
wake up, Lewis.
Wake up, Lewis. Lewis, wake up, buddy. Wake
I
up.
only do basketball on Prize Picks. I don't do basketball anywhere else, man.
Yeah.
You know who just woke up too? Greg Popovich. Like he was asleep,
Yeah.
and somebody called, "Hey, wake up, old man! Did you see what we did? Did you see what we did?" And Greg Popovich right now is like, "What? Tony Parker's coming back? No, he's not coming back. We just got this guy."
Imagine
Who?
walking through that door.
Tim Duncan's unretiring. Okay. Dolphins at Jets. Aaron Rodgers, the bad man that he is just going to be playing bad, I think. I think he's done. I really believe he's done. I think
the Jets are going to be. The Jets are going to be trying to
season.
tank for Caleb Williams at that point, so Miami gets a freebie.
I think Aaron Rodgers halfway through the season he's going to be like, I should have retired. I
got Miami by 3 touchdowns in this game.
It's like I legitimately think the Dolphins will beat the Jets both times. I
think my tanking, but I think the Dolphins will beat the Jets.
Dolphins at the Commanders. Not even worth discussing. Who's the quarterback for the Commanders?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
No, I mean, listen, their wide receivers are as elite as they can get, but you still need a quarterback.
Oh, I love Terry McLaurin. He was really good for me last year.
And Terry. And Samuel.
Yeah, Dotson's good.
Again, Eric Bieniemy, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Is that where Eric Bieniemy landed?
Bieniemy. There you go, Bieniemy.
Oh God, Brian Windhorst is in France, right next to Wembanyama. So LeBron better call him and tell him, you know, the last time that he was this close to somebody, you know, I couldn't get rid of him for like 20 years. Jesus Christ. So yeah, Brian Windhorst just found the next guy he's gonna latch on to.
Guys, if you're listening to this show, please go to PricePicks.com, use code 5.
Because that's where you can actually use this basketball knowledge that you're getting on the Pulse of Fins Nation.
Hey, we're trying to help the sponsors, Lewis. We're trying to help the sponsors.
The next game is the Ryan Tannehill revenge game, which Omar Kelly says that the Titans are winning the Ryan Tannehill revenge game. Ryan Tannehill is going to beat Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb, Jerome Baker, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer, Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, all of them.
Tannehill won't even be playing by that game. He won't. Like that, the Titans are.
Will Levis will start that game and throw 4 interceptions.
Titans won't even be in the division by then. The Jags already have it locked up.
Derrick Henry will have been traded by the deadline.
Yeah, they're going to trade Henry. That team's on the way. They're finally. They've been flirting with disaster the last couple of years. They're heading down. Oh, then we play the Jets again.
Yeah,
I got the Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins at home.
Dolphins easy. Dolphins easy in that one.
I'm gonna say the Cowboys beat the Dolphins.
Aaron Rodgers would have retired.
No way. Cowboys. Okay, we're gonna get the Cowboys at their crappiest right there.
You got to give the Dolphins a loss somewhere, man.
I gave them 2: the Eagles and the Chiefs.
The Cowboys are tanking by then too.
Both teams over in the Super Bowl last year. Okay, Ron, I see you.
Right there, the Cowboys are falling apart. They're just waiting for the wild card because they lost the division already to the Eagles. So yeah, we beat the Cowboys there.
Are the Dolphins going to beat the Ravens too?
Ooh, revenge factor for the Ravens, Alf. Revenge factor.
Going to be close.
Jason Tucker. Look, the Dolphins preserve their undefeated season as Jason Tucker misses a 52-yarder to win it.
Now you're dreaming.
By the way, guys, most of my Ravens friends have this serious thought that it was after this game last year, after they lost to the Dolphins, where everything just went downhill. They said this particular matchup with Miami was the one that just kickstarted everything that went wrong with them.
Yeah, I don't know, Matthias. Sure. I don't know if Alf meant to say Jason Sanders or Justin Tucker. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's going to miss a 52-yarder.
Yeah, right.
No, because you said Jason Tucker. I'm like, who?
I was just thinking about something.
Can we merge the two into one kicker and take him?
No, the question is, does Odell Beckham even see the field by this time?
Yeah, I don't even know how that.
It's not gonna matter, but
I don't know how this. It's something else I just realized, Alf, for our schedule, and this has nothing to do with the way they schedule it, but just how the schedule worked out in regards to who we play. Isn't this Ravens game the first and only time we actually face our nemesis, a running quarterback? Is there any other running
Mahomes?
quarterback?
Jalen
Maybe
Hurts.
Hurts.
No.
Hurts.
I
Mahomes
guess
is not a
Hurts.
running quarterback. I'm talking
No,
about
but
like Justin
bro,
Fields,
Mahomes
Lamar
can
Jackson.
scramble for 20
style.
yards and throw the ball 50 yards down the field.
Yeah,
after.
Tua can scramble for 20 yards. I'm not talking about.
Oh
a guy
no,
who
he
can
cannot scramble for 20.
Garoppolo can scramble. I'm talking about
No,
these
not
running
like look,
quarterbacks.
scrambling quarterbacks. They really
Josh
play
Allen?
none until they play
Hurts.
Lamar Jackson. But other than that,
Josh
design
Allen.
runners. Hurts
Yeah.
is a design runner. Daniel Jones is a design runner. And
Yeah,
So
but
is
I'm
Josh
not worried
Josh
about.
Allen
I'm
not
not
a
worried
runner anymore, do you
about
guys?
Daniel Jones, though. I'm not worried
No?
about Daniel Jones. I'm not. That's not going to be a problem.
So is Josh
Yeah,
Allen
that's-
not a runner anymore, guys? I guess he's a pocket passer for life.
Yeah, but we've been. You know what? It's different when it's
He
division
beats you with
because
his
we
legs,
play them
though,
all the
right?
time.
Yeah.
Like we play the Dolphins and Bills play each other 2 or 3 times a year. That's really like he doesn't like run all over us now like he used to and stuff. Like we're just kind of used to each other. But when we play all of a sudden we play the Ravens or we play all of a sudden we play Chicago out of nowhere and we just have no ability to stop these freaking guys, these like super freak athletes from running all over us. And plus, they don't really they don't let Josh Allen. Yes, he runs more than he should probably, and he's gonna get hurt eventually one day. But he's a physical freak, so he doesn't as to this point.
He ran.
They'll
for
let
77
Justin
yards.
Fields run the ball 25 times on us. They'll let Lamar Jackson run the ball 25 times on us. Lamar James. I'm just making people up.
Michael James.
But they're not going to let Josh Allen run the ball 25 times. They just don't do that.
Well, Ken Dorsey doesn't do that.
I think it's just thanks for just completely tearing apart my entire point, everybody. But I think that's the point I'm making is we're really not facing a lot of like these running juggernaut quarterbacks really until we get to maybe Hurts and then Lamar Jackson. So that's another benefit of this year's schedule. The only point I was trying to make.
Well, then Ron, real quickly, let's name these quarterbacks. You just said it. Hurts, Lamar, Fields. Who else?
Yeah. They don't play Fields.
They don't play Fields. No, he's just saying, who are they? I don't know. I'd have to go look. The little guy from Arizona.
Kyler Murray.
Little guy.
Kyler Murray. I couldn't remember his name.
Murray.
Kevin Hart, whatever his name is, that guy.
Nice. All right, Lewis, tell us a record, Lewis.
Apparently, we're going 14-2. I don't. Whatever, man. I as soon as we started talking about
we didn't do the last game. We didn't do the last game against the Bills.
Bills and are you saying the Bills are going to beat them?
Oh.
Well, I think that they'll rest Tua because they'll be 16-0 at that point. So they'll rest Tua. So Mike White gets into a tussle with Josh Allen and he wins a shootout.
Yeah, because the Bills are going to be trying to keep up with the Jets for the playoffs.
What's the most ridiculous thing I can come up with? They've signed Tom Brady, who had just become a partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, so that way he can just come and play one game because he got bored because being an owner is not for him.
Okay.
I just heard something that I think, usually I'm able to refute these things when I hear them, but I don't think that I can refute this one. Is Patrick Mahomes and Nikola Jokic, the best number 15s in the history of sports?
Oh, let's see.
I think so.
Nikola Jokic.
Oh, the Lakers play tonight, don't they? Lakers and Nuggets?
Yeah, that's what they just said.
Wait, not an NBA show. Prize Picks, guys. Prize Picks.
Okay.
Bart Starr wore 15.
That's a good one.
Bart Starr wore 15. Let's see.
I don't know if he's better than Joker. Is he better? Joker's a 2-time MVP. If he wins the title this year, and I think he is.
You know what, though?
I don't know.
We're not really
What?
soccer
You mean the
guys.
Miami
Have
Heat
any
aren't
of the
winning?
great soccer players wore number 15? Like, I don't know the soccer players. What number
not Messi, not Maradona, not Pele. No.
Yeah. Okay. So no, we're good on that front too. I don't want to exclude football. So.
Come on, Alf! You forgot the greatest wide receiver that ever wore Broncos, Jets, Dolphin colors, man. No, I'm kidding. Brandon Marshall. Carry on.
God.
Oh my God.
Let's carry on.
Isn't he the guy?
Brandon Marshall wore 19 here. He wore 19.
He wore 19.
Here.
Didn't he want to come back and play for Aaron Rodgers or some crap? Wasn't it Brandon Marshall?
He says a lot of things. He says a lot of things, Ron.
Yeah, he does. Tim Tebow was pretty good in college.
Tim Tebow beat the Buffalo Steelers. Oops. I mean Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Buffalo Steelers. I thought you were like making some kind of joke. Go to bed, Manny. You're drunk. Hey, Manny, don't you have a
This
dinner?
whole show's been drunk.
Manny,
since the
didn't you have a
start.
dinner date tonight that you were supposed
I
to
did.
go to?
I
Did you
did, and
forget
I'm still
about it?
here. Still here.
Oh, okay, that's cool. We
Okay.
appreciate that.
I mean, hey, we're over an hour. We didn't talk very much about the Dolphins, but we did. We had a lot of talking.
It's May. It's the middle of May.
Are we gonna do a playoff? Are we gonna do a playoff predictions or no?
No,
No.
we're done.
All right.
No, but the next hour we're gonna spend breaking down the roster, all 90 players, and
Oh.
predicting our 53. Manny,
Can we
you
get
first.
to off-season training first?
I gotta do Finn's Nation unless you want to do it, Ron. I got things to do.
I do not want to do Finn's Nation. I have everything I wanted to talk about. I just said. But yeah, maybe maybe one of these episodes, Lewis. You know how we used to be at Finn Maniacs together, and I would write the way too early roster prediction around this time of year.
Yeah,
maybe I'll do that, but just a live version on the show or something.
I kind of did mine.
Fill a
during
couple
Finn's Nation.
episodes.
I lost count on Finn's Nation. I thought that I had more I thought I had more defensive players than offensive players. And after I got finished counting everything on the show, I was like, I don't math very good, do I? Because,
no, you got to write it down ahead of time.
I did. That's the thing.
Oh, I can't help you there, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't help you if you can't count to
don't math
53
very
before the
good.
show starts. Oh, man.
So-
Well, Manny, welcome back, dude. It was awesome having you here again.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Baseball's loss, our gain, I say. It's good to have you back, sir.
All right. Yep.
Screw the Yankees.
Good to have Manny back. Anybody who hasn't gone to You Break We'll Fix yet, make sure that you're going over there if you want to get your ride to look like the ultimate Dolphins fantasy. The car that you're looking at currently right now is from our good friend Manny, not from our show, but from the Dolphin Bandits. He's a really nice guy. I know him really well. So really cool guy. He made his car look awesome, and it's all thanks to You Break We'll Fix. Go ahead and reach out to them at 305-748-0112 or online at youbreakwheelfix.com. And of course, go to pricefix.com. Use the promo code 5, that's FIVE, and they will match up to $100 on your initial deposit when you sign up. I'm hoping that some of my tacos cash today and that I can get some money that I can put into my pocket. If not, well, no big loss. I'm betting smaller until Flex Friday comes, which I will be very excited about.
What's the taco today?
There were 3 tacos. Only one of them has cashed so far, actually, and it was the esports one, which I still don't particularly understand. It's config with a 0 for the O. And he got 39 kills on maps 1 and 2. I don't even know what that is. Like, what does this stand for? Somebody who's better at gaming than me. What is SCG? I don't know what that is. It's not.
No idea.
It's not Call of Duty.
What are the tacos for basketball?
The basketball tacos were. Let me pull it up real quick here. It was for Michael Porter Jr. more than 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. And the other taco, I always bet through the tacos just because, just in case. You never know. It's good advertising. Anthony Davis over 18.5 points.
Wow. So the Anthony Davis one is like a gimme. The only thing is that you're basically rolling the dice.
You'd be surprised. It's actually not
He's
as much
going to be really good or he's going to be bad.
Yeah, he's not as much of a gimme as you might think. Actually, the taco dies in literally less than a minute. So anybody who hasn't gone over there yet, take advantage of it in the next 45 seconds. All right. That's going to be it for this show.
I see Star City Gaming. I don't know what that is. Or is SCG an actual game? I don't know.
I don't know what
I was trying to look it up.
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike. My God, are you betting on games from like the 90s? What do people still play Counter-Strike?
I know what GTA is, but that's about it.
Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
LeBron James is the only guy in the history of humankind whose hairline still is managing to hold on while he goes bald in reverse.
Hey guys,
like he's going bald from behind, like it's going all the way up to his hairline. Like the last thing to go will be his hairline.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be 30 years from now, and that hairline's still gonna be there, and the rest of his head's gonna be bald.
Yeah, just shave it. It's like the hairline's fake anyway. It's probably all implants or whatever. Just shave it. There's no shame in doing that. And there's just once you lose it enough.
I found out what's going to be LeBron James's next sponsorship. It's going to be a hat company.
It's going to be Rogaine.
That's another thing. LeBron, Nobody has ever worn worse hats in the history of hats than LeBron. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Maybe his
Because
head
Tyler
doesn't have a
Hero,
good
have you
shape.
checked out his freaking hats on the
Have you seen
sideline?
Alex Dono?
We love you, Dono.
Have you seen
I love
Russell
you, Dono.
Westbrook's hats?
Congratulations to Inter the Milan, who made it to the UEFA Championship League's final. Congratulations, Alex Dono. All right, I'm sorry, wrong sport.
We're done. We're
Sorry,
done.
Louis,
This show
sorry.
is over. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you all next week, and hopefully we'll actually be able to talk some Dolphins on this Dolphins show. So, Manny, are you going to put this? Yeah, we'll talk about some actual tackle. Are you going to put this up on the podcasting?
Yes. So
this is going to
by
be the
the end of
debut
the week,
episode, really?
Yeah, by the end of the week, we're going to be starting up the Pulse of Fizz Nation podcast. Yeah,
no one's ever going to listen to this show.
Whatever else is out there. There's so many damn platforms. I've lost my mind.
Yeah, there's a ton of podcatchers. You put them on the few main ones, and they get soaked up into the others.
Yeah, correct. So after every single show catches on the podcast, stuff like that. So by next week, it'll be up and running on a regular basis.
Okay, so this is not the debut show for that.
Well, this will be up, but it'll probably be up tomorrow or Thursday.
I almost don't want to put it up.
You're using it as the one to
this is
initiate it, so it'll take a few days.
This is the prelude.
This is the one that people are going to listen to the first time. Let's
episode
try this
new
podcast. There's no Dolphins.
This says # Miami Dolphins, and yet here I am hearing Alf talking about Brian Windhorst. How does that make sense?
SCG
and Counter-Strike.
The Eagles and more Eagles.
The Spurs have won. If you think about it, the Spurs have won 3 generational lotteries. Think about it.
The pulse of the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay, they won the generational lottery to get Tim Duncan. They won the generational lottery to get David Robinson, and now they won it to get Wembayama. Unbelievable.
I was so excited about watching him play. I just don't think I can get pumped.
All right, folks. And on that note, appreciate you joining us tonight.
All right.
Thank you, Manny.
Louis,
go Isaiah win. Go Isaiah win.